This video I'm just going to talk about how to install MyRobotLab, get it set up for Inmoov, and maybe a little bit about the Servo Calibrator. Right, so first off, we're here at the Inmoov website. We'll go to Build Yours and MyRobotLab, how to start. So first off, this is the latest release, 1.0.2693. So you need Java to install to start with. So you have to install Java. That's saying you need a 64-bit version. So you obviously need a 64-bit operating system. You also need Chrome, because the voice translator doesn't work on Firefox, it only works on Chrome. And then the Arduino software. And lastly, step 4, the MyRobotLab zip file. So we download that, create a directory on your drive, in your C drive or whatever drive it is, called MRL, and paste that into there. So this Windows 7 machine's already got that in there. So that's in my C drive. And that's an older version of MyRobotLab. This is the one that's working, MyRobotLab. There's a zip file. That's the directory that you create when you unzip MyRobotLab. So then website says to start, to click start_inmove.bat and let it do all its stuff. So that will take quite a few minutes. But after all that, MyRobotLab will be configured for an Inmoov. Now, so if you're gonna physically move Inmoov, then you need to upload the mrl.com.ino file, which is a Arduino file. So we'll just run through that now. I'll just set up the Arduino Mega. So I've got the Arduino software installed, and I've plugged the Mega board in, just into USB port. Down the bottom there it says it's on COM16. It could be on any port, just depends what the computer wants to do. So now we'll run the Arduino software. I'm running Arduino 1.8.5, so it's not the newest version, but that's okay. But I don't want to update to the newer version. Now, down the bottom corner, it's saying I've got things connected to an Arduino Nano on COM10, so that's obviously not right. We go to Tools, And the board, we want to select Arduino Mega. Now this board is a ADK version. I use that for a different project. I guess it still would work. You normally just have a standard Arduino Mega. But this is the only spare board I got. So now down the bottom it says it's connected to a Mega, but it's still COM 10, and we knew it was COM 16. So the port is COM 16. Okay. So the website says we need to install the MRL COM file. Open that. Where is that to? Okay, so that's telling us that it's in MyRobotLab, the version number resources, Arduino MRL.com. So resources, Arduino MRL.com. That's it there. So in Arduino, we'll open that. So I'm already in that directory, but we'll go through and find that again. And resources, Arduino. You want to open that. So let's open this up in the new window. That's the code there. We don't have to do anything with the code. Now we can, because we've still got Arduino Mega COM 16, what we need to do is upload. We're compiling the sketch. So now it's uploading, all the lights are flashing on the Mega. And now it says done uploading. So this Mega is now ready to go into your Inmoov. So we can close down Arduino. So with the Arduino Mega all programmed up, we need to start now configuring MyRobotLab. So we set up the COM port to start with. That's in server 6 Arduino.config. So when we're in MyRobotLab, go down to Inmoov, config, so server 6. So I'm going to open this up in Notepad++, which is free software It's a free text editor. You can use any one that you want. Notepad, generally, the standard notepad that comes with Windows is not very good, so it's well worth the effort to install something different. Okay, so in Arduino, my right port was COM7 and the board type was Arduino Mega 2560. My left port was COM6. So you have to find that out by you need to change those. The easy way to find that out is go into your control panel, system security, device manager in system, and down here to port COM. Right now I don't have the Arduino, the Megas for Inmoov plugged in. This is a spare card and that's on COM16, but this will come up here as the COM port that you need to put into this configuration file. So if I was going to use this card, I would need to put COM16 as the port, either the left or right side Mega, depends which one I was configuring. So I don't only change that to 16 or that to 16. And then of course save the file, but I haven't done anything, so it won't let me save it. So next in the thing to do, so now we need to configure Inmoov. So this is inmoov.config. And now we're going to set whether we want virtual, left side, right side, or full. So underscore Inmoov config. Once again, open that up in the text editor. And now, because I've got a full Inmoov, I'm using script type equals full. Now it could be virtual. These lines are commented out so the program doesn't read that as anything. If you want to just use the right side, you have to type right side or left side. Now it's capital sensitive, so you need to follow that how that's been written. Debug faults is just default. Language is equal to, in my case, English. It can be these other languages. And the rest, the configuration is default. However it loads up, I guess if you don't want Inmoov to speak, you can make isMute equals true. Again, if you make any changes, you need to save that file. Now we need to edit the mouth service for the speech engine. So that's service 5 mouth. That's in the same config directory. Service number 5 mouth. We'll open that up in the editor. Okay, so I'm using the standard speech engine, which is Merry Speech, but you can change to other speech engines. Voice name is that, which is the default one. That's pretty much standard as it was installed. Back to the web page. Now we need to configure which part of the skeleton we want to work. So if you only have the head, well, then we can just go to the head and just get the head to work, and nothing else we initialize when it starts up. So they give an example here of the hand. So if we go skeleton, so if we just have the head down there, skeleton underscore head. Again, we open it up in Notepad. So the top line is head activated equals true. Now if you don't want to activate it, which is the default setting, it's false. Once again, I've just put these marks there, semicolon, to make these remark statements. The rest of this is pretty default. And this is where you put your settings for your, after you do servo calibration, the numbers here go there. So this is the servo map output, minimum, maximum. Rest position. So here you can see my jaw servo, minimum is 5, maximum is 60, its rest position is 10. This is all pretty much default. So that was the output we configured. Now this is the input that we configure. I haven't found anywhere where the output and input should be different, so these need to be same. So here we can reverse the servo. I think one servo does need reversing, but not in the head. Okay, so our minimum map is 0 and yaw is 180. So I have not matched them in here, doesn't seem to worry. And our velocity, which is how fast the servo moves. And then the servo pin number. Now you don't want to change this. This is how you can define where each servo is plugged into on the nerve board. And then servo auto disable. I think that is when the servo is not called on, it doesn't drive anywhere, it just basically takes the power off it. Now if we make any changes here, we save that. So whatever part of Inmoov you want to get working, then you go to the relevant file. So skeleton left arm, it's the same fill. So we just, if you want the left arm to work, you just left arm activation equals true. So it's just a matter of going through whichever bit you want to get working and make it true. The bits you don't want working, make them false or keep them false. Yeah. That's what this section in the how to help file. Okay then, so I'm all set up. Inmoov's powered up. So if you're just running the servo straight off a Arduino mega board, you just have power on that and the 6 volts to drive the servo. So we're about to do this servo calibration. So there's a video on that Gail's put forward, so it's under the bicep. we go down there. So I'm just basically going to run through what Gail talks about in that video. So we're in MyRobotLab. I'm going to go down to Tools, Servo Calibration. Now the first thing we need to do is configure our Arduino. So once again, unfortunately these COM ports can change around, depends what you've had running on the COM ports. So it's a good check just to see what's what, and then try and start it back up again. So you can see here two Arduinos, one's on COM 6, one's on COM 7. Now I know that COM 6 is my left and COM 7 is my right mega. So I need to come down here because I'm going to calibrate the jaw, and the jaw is on the left mega, and I know that's channel 26 from the, let me show you that, from the bomb. Now where's the jaw too? It's still loading. Yeah. Not sure what's going on here. Okay, now we're back on this page. The mouth, the jaw, is on the left mega, that's channel 26. And suggested starting points is rest position is 10, minimum is 10, maximum position is 25. Now there is one error in here, I think, but when you go through the configuration on the config files, it becomes reasonably obvious, and I can't remember what is what. I'm sorry about that. So now we're back to the servo calibration. We're going to connect to COM 7, which is my left mega. Okay, in the bottom of the screen it says it's connected to COM 7. Now we go across to the servo. So we want to hook up Arduino, and for the jaw we want to talk to COM at port 26. Okay, so here my input map is 0 to 180 and my output map is 5 to 60. So I've already changed them, but you can either use these sliders to change it or just type the text in. So because my jaw works, I've set it from 5 to 60. Just hit the set button and that sets these sliders. So this is my input. It's going to go between 0 and 180, but my output will go between 5 and 60. So I'm going to talk to the Arduino. In my case it's COM 6, the left one. on channel 26 when I attach. So now if I move this slider, I should hear the jaw move. It's not doing that. Okay then, I've made a mistake here. What I've actually done is connected COM7 up. So I need to connect COM6 up. And connect. There we go, COM6. Servo. And now it's going to talk on COM6, which was my left mega. So fingers crossed it works this time. There you go. I don't know if you can hear that, but the jaw's working now. But because the input's 0 to 180, it's only working this small percentage of the scale. So we can change this to 5. Match the output. 5. 60. Set. So now our input range is between 5 and 60. See what that does. 60. So now that is just controlling over that full range. In my case, 5 is, well, the 5 is the mouth closed, so now that's, the mouth is closed. And that's the mouth fully open. So I'm only maybe getting 10-15 millimeters of movement. So what you do when you're happy with these numbers, we go back into Inmoov config, and because I was working with the jaw, which is in the head, skeleton head configuration, open that. So that will, this is where we put our output. So I was 5. And 60. So that's these numbers here. And because mouth closed is the rest position, that's 10. So the mouth is just slightly open, just to take the pressure off the servo. So I don't want the servo to be inverted. So the input is 0 minimum, 180 maximum. So I could change that to 5 and 60 if I wanted to, or I'll leave it at 0 and 180. It doesn't appear to have too much difference to what the operation of the servo. So that's how you match that up. So you can see here also that it tells me that jaw is on pin 26, which was pin 26 here. And also here was pin 26. So those three all matches up. Like I said, I think there is one error in here, but the minimum maxims and the rest positions are pretty close as a good starting point to calibrate your servo. If you want to check another servo, you just find out what pin number it is, scroll up and down there, set these values according to that table, then activate it or attach it, and it will work. Now once you're all done there and happy, you can just close that off. And now that's done. So while we're in this configuration page, we'll just have a quick run through some of the... This is the NeoPixel configuration. My NeoPixel is on my right mega. This is channel outcome 7 for me. So that's saying the NeoPixel is activated. It's on my right mega. Now the serial port 2, that's the communication port off of the mega card to the Arduino Uno, and it's connected to pin 2, which is standard. The number of NeoPixels is actually, I think, 16, but to get them all to work I had to put 24 in. I'm not sure why that's the case. And then all these here are standard. Just have a look at the PIR settings. So all I had to do here was just change it to PIR activated equals true, and it's on the right mega, pin 23, which I think is standard, and play custom sounds if detected is true. I think that's default. Open NI I think is the Xbox connects, so the same thing. Xbox connects is true, and the rest of these is default. Okay, and the ultrasonic configuration. So here once again, ultrasonic is true, and ultrasonic is on the right side, pin 64, 63, which is how they said to set up in the web page, and so that all is working. If you want to use the left side, you make that true and the right one false. From my understanding, you can only run one ultrasonic at the moment. So that's it. Everything else is standard. There may be some changes I have to do later on, or depends on what you want to do. I haven't worked out gestures yet, so maybe some changes in there. So we'll just close all this down. So we'll start Inmoov. Rightio, we're just going to start up Inmoov now. So you can see what the start sequences look like. I've created a shortcut on the desktop. Otherwise, it's in IC drive, MRL, MyRobotLab. And start Inmoov. This will automatically open Google Chrome for the voice recognition. We'll run through the services that you've got configured in the configuration file.
Set language path to English. Starting ears, WebKit speak recognition.
As the different services open up, new tabs will come up in this window.
Full robot Arduino chosen from configuration. Starting NeoPixel service. Alert. Can I have your attention, please? Alert. My brain is corrupted. Maybe a bad shutdown. Don't worry, I will recompile IML files.
Okay, that doesn't normally happen. It's only if it doesn't shut down properly.
I may start other components. Please wait. PIR sensor activation.
If you tell Inmoov to shut down, you don't get a corrupt file.
Starting ultrasonic sensor right. Starting head. Starting mouth. Starting left arm. Starting left hand. Starting right arm. Starting right hand. Starting torso. How can I help you?
So now all the services I want are running.
Is that a fact?
As you can see, Inmoov can hear what I'm saying now. Hello?
Hi, it's delightful to see you back.
Because I told Inmoov before what my name was. He responds back. So there's a list of command or gestures function, and I'll post that location up so you can say things like unhappy.
You sound like one of a kind.
Unhappy.
Unhappy.
So Inmoov's just put his hands on his hips with his fist.
I notice you can think very clearly.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Okay, we'll try the ultrasonic out.
About.
Measuring the
The
distance.
first life-size humanoid robot you can 3D print and animate. My designer creator is Gail Langevin, a French sculptor, model maker, who has released my files to the open source 3D world. This is where my builder downloaded my files. After 500 hours of printing, 4 kilos of plastic, 25 hobby servos. Blood and sweat I was brought to life.
Relax.
So if you have a 3D printer, some building skills, then you can build your own version of me. And if enough people build me, someday my kind could take over the world. I'm just kidding. I need some legs to get around, and I have to overcome my pyrophobia, a fear of fire. So, until then, I will be humankind's humble servant. I will preserve humanity above all.
Measuring the distance.
I love my job, but sometimes I wonder why.
Measuring the distance.
In centimeters I measure 12.
So I had my hand about, Inmoov saying 12 centimeters from the PIR sensor. Now to get Inmoov to shut down. Shut down.
Extinguish my system. Please wait 10 seconds.
So when you shut down this way, you don't get any errors when you boot up. You can see that the window is going through the shutdown sequence and it's closed itself down. So now Inmoov shut down. Alright, here's how to find a list of gestures. I'm sure there's an easier way on the internet, but I haven't been able to find them. So once again, go to MyRobotLab. Now, go to Inmoov, chatbot, bot, because I speak English. Top one, AIML, gestures. Open that in your text editor. So we scroll down a little bit, we can see the gestures. So if you say attached head, Inmoov will reply, I'm attaching my head, and it'll run that service. That's basic, so you can turn the head on or off. So there's some basic things there. Attach and disconnect arms. If you don't have the arm to move, you can just tell it to detach arm. So then there's search human. So I'm looking for faces. It'll say face detect. If you got the camera set up, I'm looking for faces. There may be a list somewhere on the internet that defines these a little bit better. So you can tell him to open the hand and he'll open both hands. Inmoov will say opening my hand. If you say close hand, Inmoov will close. It will say closing my hand and the hand will close. There's giving fighter. It'll get all Inmoov to move something. Da Vinci, so it'll go into Da Vinci pose. Voice control will turn the microphone on and off. Voice control will turn the microphone on, and stop listening will turn the microphone off. Now I've got no idea how to turn the microphone back on if he's not listening. So they're not in any real order of what happens, I don't think. You tell him to relax, he'll say relax and he'll go arms down by his side. So I just copied that in as a text file and deleted all the blue stuff to give me a list of things to say and rough idea what his commands are. power down. There's also a shutdown that does the same thing. If you want to use connect, then you have to tell it to start connect. Otherwise connect won't work until you tell him to start. There's some freeform body movements that's already been in place. And some other things, show your muscles, shake your hands. If you've got the PIR, he'll have a rough guess of how to shake your hand, or where your hand is. Obviously, if you run the battery, you can ask him for the battery level. If you run a 6-volt power supply like I am, he just comes back and says 100%. If you say play YouTube, he'll open up YouTube in Chrome and start playing a clip. Not sure how you can define what clip he plays, but and open Facebook, yeah, I suppose. You can do a robot search, and I think you ask him for something that he knows and he'll go off, open YouTube or whatever, Google. You can have random life there, so then you tell him random life and he'll just move around all over the place. You can ask him questions, and you can teach him colours this way as well, and some shapes. You can say, what is this colour, once he's learned some colours. The camera should pick that up, and then he'll tell you what colour it is. Check your neck's a good one, because he'll tilt his neck sideways and around the place. He can read a book. Well, as such, he thinks he's reading a book. Some of these responses have maybe 3 or 4 different actions to them. What about Star Wars? He's got 3 different responses to that. If anyone knows of another list of gestures that's a bit easy to read, and if you could post where this video is posted to.